Is it rolling already? Everything's
All
rolling?
right, guys, welcome back to the Now or Never podcast. Today we got a special guest, Dot, one of the best.
Chill, fam.
Don't say that.
Just keep talking.
I'm complimenting you, bro.
Respect.
The man, the myth,
One
the
of the
legend.
best engineers from Toronto. A mentor of mine, helped me a lot. Introduce yourself, Dot.
Dot or Dotdaengineer or Dominic.
What's your
Oh, so that's your name. All right.
Yeah, that's my name.
Everyone calls you Dot, so I haven't I
So
don't-
that's what. Okay, we'll start off with that then. Who is Dot? How did you get that name? And who are you? Introduce yourself like that. Let's start with that.
Well, Dot, where it came from. Technically, Dot is like my full name. So Dominic Okunet Tassin, which is my middle name. And then just was Dot because DTO just sounds stupid.
What's your background?
Nigerian, Polish.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I've never heard of that mix. That's pretty. Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah, there's a couple of us, you know what I mean?
Just a couple, eh?
I mean, you know what I mean? Couple, but, shout outs to all the
Are you
Nigerian, Polish people.
Are you the best engineer out of all of them or not?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe, possibly. I mean, I don't know. There might, who knows, bro? The world is a big place, bro. It's 7 billion people, so.
So what do you consider yourself as someone in the industry? Who do you consider yourself? Just an engineer?
I get, honestly, I think, like, I'm definitely an engineer. Like, engineering is my passion. Like, this is what I love to do. And I guess I'm also everything else that comes with it. So again, I like to connect people. I like to just, I just like to work. That's all it is. I guess that's the easiest answer.
No, I hear you. We talk all the time, and you always tell me that like you do this 24/7.
No, I mean like almost 24/7.
Mostly.
Yeah, like I like to do it, so it's like my whole day type of thing.
Here's the thing. I love doing this too, but the thing is that I feel like it doesn't stress you out sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm obsessed with it though.
To the point
I can't
where
go,
it doesn't
like-
matter if you're stressed. Like I don't know how do you.
Yeah, I mean, like, fam, like, look, past 2 years, I realized that stress is it is what it is, bro. It's like you're always gonna be stressed. And when you relax, bro, the thing is like when you relax, you don't think straight, bro. Stress produces it forces you to think. You know what I mean? When you relax, bro, you're just like chilling.
And my dad's
Like,
the same thing, bro.
Everything is everything is good. Like I don't have to I can just relax. But then it's like as soon as you relax, it's like nothing happens.
And then
Like,
it's hard to get back, like,
yeah.
rolling again, you know?
So yeah, I don't know. I'm obsessed with it, but look, there's a lot of things that I love about it. There's a lot of things that I hate about it. Would I do something else? No, because I love to do it. This is just what I love to do. And yeah, I don't know.
Were you ever pressured to go to school or do anything else that you didn't want to do?
Not really. I would say like this. My parents were not like super strict with me, like, oh, do this, and that, and that.
Yeah.
Like I had enough free option. Well, I would say like this. When I was younger and like my mom saw me, that I was like, she was supporting me. She was like, that's cool. You guys want to do music, this and that. But then when she realized that I want to do it seriously, then she was like,
Here's the thing. I see your mom come here sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does she think now? Because now she sees
I
like
think she's
where
happy.
it started and now where it is now.
You know what?
I'm saying?
I think it's just I just like to prove my point. And I think she's definitely proud and like she's happy and like when she comes here it's like a getaway for her too, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she likes to be around, and she always like, she goes in the patio, does her thing with the flowers, with the plants and all. Like, she just like likes to like she gets busy here, but like she enjoys to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, it's like one of those things like, my mom is like she likes to work. You know what I mean? She like
So that's where you get it from.
yeah, it's like even if she has like day off, she would like go and do something, like help somebody or do something or something. Like she just doesn't like to just like do nothing.
Yeah.
She just stays proactive.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think I'm the same way. I just like to just look, we got 24 hours in a day. We need roughly, 24 hours in a day. They say that we need to sleep 8 hours a day. I cut my sleep to 5. So I used to sleep 3 hours
I think that's too
for like
little, no?
for like a year, but like
yeah.
that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of energy at the time, but I also was on Adderall a lot, so it was like boosting me up. It was like I can sleep 3 hours, and I'm like I'm fine, and I would go and run 10 miles like every day almost. Like it was ridiculous how much energy I had. You know what I mean?
Was that because the Adderall, or you're just like you were?
I think it was both. Honestly, it was like there was like so much shit happening in my life, and man, it's like like this work has to be done. This has to be done. Like this is happening. Like I got to go there. Like I had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was very busy with a whole bunch of stuff. So I was like,
You were kind of stressing when you slept too. Then.
yeah,
Right,
it's
'cause
just
I
like
know
it's
what
just
you
like
mean,
I
yeah.
want to maximize the day as much as I can. You know what I mean? And everything. The thing is like everything costs you time. So it's like, you can sleep 8 hours, but then you gotta like work your day in a way so you can like sacrifice some for something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want to sacrifice my run. I don't want to sacrifice like, my gym. I don't want to sacrifice like whatever, making food. So I'm like, I just want to add more time to what I already have.
Wow.
I
That's
guess-
hard to
So-
do, man. Like I swear, 90. No, I'm saying like it's hard. Like 90% of people come up with the excuse not to do that stuff. Like for
Yeah.
example, if I was on 3 hours of sleep, I'm not going to the gym. Like, but obviously, like that's laziness.
See-
that's an excuse, realistically.
But that's what
so
I'm
you kind of just made me
But
feel like
I also didn't.
No, but straight up. But like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Is like we talked about this before.
yeah, but
It's
like, hold up.
But is that what it takes to
hold
be
up, hold up.
successful?
One thing, because I didn't finish the story. So the 3 hour thing, right? Success. What's the definition of success in the first place? You know what I mean? Because successful, like, I guess for me, I don't know if it might be too hot on the thing. No, the first channel, or is it because of
I think
the
that's
Zoom?
yours. Yeah. That is you.
So I might be a little bit too loud.
Trust guys, just tell me how to do my job.
Hey man, I'm an artist now. You know what I mean? Actually, no, because artists wouldn't be like, "Yo, my vocals
Yeah.
levels are too loud."
no, you'd be surprised. There's some that are actually like that though.
Yeah, maybe there's a one too. But anyway, going back to the thing, so the 3 hour, like super, like a lot of just, I was on something. And you know what? I think it's a good experience. I don't know if I would do it again. I liked it. But I also realized that like it comes at a cost.
Which is your health.
Say what?
Which is your health. No.
Yeah, but like I'm about to get to that.
Oh, okay.
So at my very end, I remember I was my friend called me, and I haven't seen this guy in like a minute. So I was like, "Yo, let's go grab some food," haven't seen it. We haven't seen each other like 3-4 years, and we always had like the greatest conversations. He was like one of a client of mine, like back in the day, but it was more than like it's like it was more than just like work. Like we like became friends, and like we still friends. We still talk. But anyway, so at the time we were like, you know what, let's do that. So he picked me up, and we go to we were going to like some spots somewhere on, I don't know where it was, somewhere downtown.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting in the car, we talking, everything is fine. I got out of the car, and I'm like walking, and like my legs gave up. Like
Just from not sleeping and shit.
I don't know, like they just gave up. Like I just like man dropped on the ground. Like it's like my legs just went like I couldn't control my thing, and I just dropped to the ground.
Oh shit! Wow.
I like almost busted my face. My tooth was like moving and stuff. So I was like, bro, it's good that I didn't like break anything. My knees were busted and stuff. I ended up on emergency.
Holy shit.
How long ago was this?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years ago.
So is that what made you like you said, okay, enough's enough?
Yeah, that was definitely something that was like, look, I'm in the hospital. I don't like. A couple of people know this story, but I don't really. This is like the first time I'm publicly
Yeah.
like sharing this story. But I think like I should share it because it's a. I think it's a good story, good thing that happened to me. Good and bad, but good ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so my friend is like terrified. It's like, yo, dog, what's happening with you? This and that. Like, should I call the ambulance? And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'm getting up, dropped again. You know what I mean? So the ambulance
Wow.
came and all that stuff. They took me to think I had like, bruises everywhere. And they were like, they wanted to like, check what's up with me and all that stuff. So they left me for the screening. And I had to stay in the emergency for the overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, I never like spend my life. Like, look, my parents are like, my dad is a surgeon, my mom is a nurse and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. I've been in the medical family, but I don't like hospitals.
I hear. Yeah, I hear.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's not my vibe. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I have to like spend the night in the emergency. And mind, there's like some guy, and again, I'm not trying to like sound disrespectful or anything, but there was some crazy guy like right there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know what was like. I can tell that he was like he has some type of mental issue, and like he was like screaming, yelling, this and that and that, and I'm there in the stretcher, like laughing, making jokes with the guys. I'm like, I don't know what I was saying, but like I was laughing all the time. And they like, what the hell was wrong with this guy? Like this emergency. And this guy's like, you're fucking laugh, like telling jokes. But anyway, they were like, you know what? There was a room. So they were like, oh, the room empty out. So you're going to stay here. They like plugged all the things to me and all that stuff, and like just doing all the tests, running the blood and all that stuff. So, I'm there and like, my friend came and like, I told him, I'm like, yo, can you grab me a charger? Because my phone is dying, this stuff. So he like grabbed all the stuff for me. And like, it was like Monday, Tuesday or whatever it was. So it's like, he had work the next day. So it was like, I'm like, yo, fam, it's like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, go home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be fine. So he left and I'm like spending my night in the hospital, right? So I'm like, I'm right there. I'm feeling all right other than like just busted up. Looking at the ceiling and just thinking about life. And I'm like, holy, like this and that. And then as I'm doing this, there's like, as I was like in the hospital, I see somebody in the other room with like stab wounds or shot, like being shot. Like I just see like they being like wrapped up.
Oh,
like they already like, I don't know, unconscious laying there, but like I see like whole like
God.
like blood stains. So it's like it was like multiple. So like either shooting or whatever it was, or maybe stabbing, whatever it was.
Wow.
So I'm like, shit, bro. They put me in the room. And I heard like the next room, like it's not even a room, it's like a dividing wall or whatever.
Yeah, with like the curtains and shit, no?
No, it's not a curtain. Like it's a separate room, but it's like thin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there was like a person that died in the next one because I heard like lady was crying and this and that and that. And I'm like half awake and half. It's like 4:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, I didn't eat all day. I'm like in the hospital. Like I'm tired. It's time to like go to sleep. So I'm like trying to sleep, and every single time I'm going to sleep, my heart rate drops. So the thing goes fucking beeping on the side.
Oh shit.
And then they come in and they like ask me like, yo, like what's happening? And like I run, a lot. So my heart just pumps more
I thought
blood.
you said you ran out of the hospital.
No.
Say what?
I'm a runner. That's what I mean. So it's like my heart just like pumps more blood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Naturally. So like
yeah.
when normally it's like they have the thing that if your heart rate goes below a certain point, it starts to like beep. Like, the flat line thing. So it kind of sounds like that.
Yeah.
So every single time my heart rate was like going to like lower level, it would like fucking beep like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they would come in and they like, asking me. So I tell them like I run. So they're like, oh, so this and that, this is why it's happening.
Oh,
but like
okay.
I still couldn't sleep because like every single time I would like just try to sleep, it would just beep all the time. It was the whole night I just didn't sleep. I couldn't fall asleep.
Shit. That's a nightmare, bro.
So I'm just there, man. It's like I was just thinking about everything, and the doctor comes, and he's like looking at me, and it's like, okay, so we don't know what's happening with you because we ran everything, and like you're like in more than perfect health. They're like everything is perfectly fine with you. Like there's nothing wrong. Like
Wow.
you're in a better shape than ever. So I'm like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then, I got home. I went home, changed, slept maybe like a couple of hours, walked back to the studio, bro.
Wow. It's just like that, eh?
But yo, this is what I'm saying.
Oh man.
It's like, but that's the drive and dedication I feel like you need to have. And even like, just to give people like that don't know you, just
But-
understanding, how did this all start? Just so they can understand where you're coming from.
Like, yeah, what
How
about
did this all-
669 you're saying?
669, how did this all start? How did 669 come to be?
Man, how does man, the whole story is kind of all over the place. At the time I was in Saga and I had like a studio at home in a condo, and I was like, okay, it's just time to move on, move up. Like, I'm working with more people, and I'm like, I just want to like have to make a jump. You know what I mean?
You were already an engineer at this point, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm
were you
engineer-
working at somewhere like before this? Or
No,
were you
I
doing
was
your own
like,
thing?
I used to work renovations like back in the day.
Okay, like
That's
yeah.
how I made like money and invested and like started like building
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But like when I was like, okay, I want to open 669, I was like engineering full time probably for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Oh wow, okay.
So I was like,
And were you already busy at the time? At that time, were you already like booming?
I mean, I was busy. Depends on what the definition of booming is. Like,
Like I'm talking about consistent work every day.
yeah,
Okay.
I was like having enough work and like clients and everything that I was like,
Okay.
I was.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, I was consistent with
Okay.
it for sure. I was
Yeah.
working every day.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I think it's time. And I was looking for a place. First time I remember like maybe 2 years before I opened 669, I was supposed to partner up with this one guy who was like my friend's friend who had the studio in Scarborough, and I was like, oh, so let's open studio together type of thing. But we had a couple of meetings and stuff. But then like the other guy was kind of just like not even. He was like, it just didn't seem like he was like serious about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, like no more partners in my life. I don't want to waste my time going this and that and do all the talking and then like, why are we talking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like we do it. For me, it's like I'm terrible with planning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. It's like you tell me to plan something, it's like my brain just like it's just like too much. I just like to just put me in the thing and let me do it.
So if you plan a vacation, will you end up in a different country? Then
Possibly, I would probably do it. I'm like, you know what? I feel like this. I don't know. I'd rather just. I don't like to plan because planning is kind of it kills my vibe. Not my vibe, but it kills my like natural ability just to like maneuver
yeah,
through
yeah.
things.
So you're spontaneous then.
Yeah.
Okay,
For sure.
I hear you. I respect that.
So I think after that, I was like going around to different studios, kind of trying to find a space. I was like, either I will rent something somewhere, or like maybe find a room or something.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing at the time that I was like seeing and talking to people made sense to me.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I want to open my own shop. Like, like shit, Toronto downtown. Like, I don't know. I just want to see it. You know what I mean? So it was like 2015. 2015. So that was 2015. 2014. Yoko, shout out to Yoko. He calls me in the New Year's Eve. And he's like, yo, Dot, I have this building I want you to see. Like, it's fire. Like, yo, you gotta see it. And I'm like, it's like 31st, like New Year and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh man, like, do I want to like, do it in the New Year? But then he was like, nah, like I'm telling you, you gotta like come like right now if you can, you know what I mean? Or like it was like the next day, the 31st. So I was like, okay, bet I'll come. And I came here and I looked at it. Actually, that day I was checking 2 spots.
They were both downtown, yeah?
Downtown. One was this spot and there was one on Blur Street, Blur and bathrooms like
Okay.
around those areas. So the first place I looked at it and it was like it was all right, but the layout was a little bit weird. It was like it had a nice patio and like it had a potential, but it wasn't quite what I had in my my head.
Yeah.
And you know, then I came here with Bobby. Shout out to Bobby. And as I was walking up the stairs, like that, you know, the where the skylight is, I had the vision. It's like it just came to me. It's like it already felt good when I was walking up the stairs. I was like,
That's how you know,
it
man.
feels good.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, okay, and then like, you know, I go to this place in mine. Nothing here looked the way how it looked. It was all gray.
Like it was all painted gray.
Everything was
yeah?
gray. Like walls, like the whole thing was white. The lounge was white.
Okay.
Everything else, like all the rooms and everything, kitchen, everything was gray, like prison gray.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I was like, oh man. And you know, I came here and I'm like, it has a potential. You know, this room didn't sell me the place. When I was walking up the stairs, yes, then I was like here and I was like, it's all right, this and that. But then like the guy that was showing me the place, I think his name was Josh, or I don't know, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. He took me to the other room, and I went in, and I saw the stained glass, and it just was like, oh, like, like you know what I mean? It was just like the sound that I heard in my head, and I was like, this, and I'm like, yo, how much do you guys want for this place? And I think at the time it was like $2,000 or something like that.
Just for that room.
Just for like the whole second floor. For
Whole
this and
second
that.
floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, fuck, 2 bands a month. You know what I mean? It's like,
Was that a lot for you at the time? Like considering
I mean,
the money that
2
you're
bands
making?
is always a lot, realistically.
It is, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's not a lot. Like I would say like this. It's easy to spend 2 racks, but you got to work a little bit to make it.
To make
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, at the time it was like, you know, I'm doing it by myself. I'm not doing like okay, we're gonna pay $1,000 each.
Yeah.
Even like right now, man, like I'm looking at like I'm realizing like people don't really want to spend like $2,000 in the city to pay for like a room or a studio. It seems to be like a lot of money for most of the people. Because people
In
are
the city, though?
say what?
And for in the city, I feel like that's totally... I feel like
Yeah,
it's
for
fair,
sure. Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
But that was
like,
also back then too.
this is
No,
back
no,
then.
yeah,
But
I
yeah, I'm just saying. But anyway, going back to the thing. And I was like, I had some money saved up, but I was like, fuck, I need more money to like, you know, it's gonna, cause like I have to like do all the renovation, get the new shits. Like I'm like, this is gonna cost me a little, because I was just like expecting like, I got money to like move into the room and get it organized and like, you know, get it popping. But then it's like I got to do all the renovation to it. It's the this is the renovation that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything else is not really that crazy, but like renovation is like, you know, drywall this, do this and that. Like, you know, it costs money. But anyway, I was like, you know what? I needed to get a loan, and like everything just felt like automatic. It's like I didn't. It's weird. Like the way how I'm talking about it, it might sound weird, but this is exactly what it was. Like I'm not fabricating anything, but it's like I needed a loan, and I was like, I didn't even know how much money I need for the loan, but I was like, I need the loan. So I'm like, you know, again, when you're self-employed, bro, good fucking luck.
Yeah.
So bank is like, you know, for a bank is like, you know, fuck it, we're not gonna give you a loan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, these guys fly. I'm like, I'm not going to like, you know, one of those fucking
The cash money and shit.
the cash monies and all that. It's like
The interest rate is crazy.
yeah, you know what I mean? So I do one thing. I'm like desperate at the time, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, this is not gonna go through. Cause I'm like, I need to like make that decision right now. But I went, I met up with the landlord, and I was like, I signed the lease and I didn't even have the money yet. I was like, fuck it.
Damn. But
I was like,
did they ask you for like a pay stub or something like that when you
no,
did that?
look, my landlord does not give a fuck. You got the money, you got the first, last, bro. Okay, cool. Let's start and let's see if you can do it. You know what I mean? Again, it's like
So you didn't have money.
The thing,
for
you know
anything
what?
else.
The thing with I would say like this. The good thing with him is that he allows me to like do anything in here.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I was looking for a place when I'm like, I told them I was like, I wanted to have a recording studio in here. I was like, that's fine. I'm like, the music is gonna be loud. That's fine. There's a family on the other side live there, and I'm like, but there's a family. These guys are gonna be good with it. It's like, it's good. It's fine.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, cool, bet. I need something like, I need something that is flexible for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was kind of desperate, and I'm like, you know what? I'll post an ad on Kijiji. I'm like, I'm looking for a loan. And I had like a whole bunch of calls, and like, they like asking me like, do you have a house? Do you own a house? And this and that and that. And I'm like, bro, like, it's not this type of party. You know what I mean? Like, So I'm like, and again, mine at the time is like, I don't know how much money I need. Like, I kind of calculated everything, but I'm like, I'm not trying to like go over the budget. I'm trying to like minimize everything to maximize my just output of what I can do, right?
Right.
So this one guy calls me. His name was Perry, and he was like, "Hey, Dominic, I saw your ad on Kijiji, this and that." And I'm like, at this time, I'm already like, I gave up. It was Sunday. I remember it like today. It was Sunday, like 3 p.m. And I'm like, who the fuck calls on Sundays to like talk about Kijiji ad, like Monday to Saturday, you know what I mean? Sundays is not this type of party, But, and I picked up too. I don't even know why I picked up, because normally I'm like, if somebody calls me, I won't pick up.
Yeah.
So, we spoke, and I explained the situation, what I need and this and that, and like, and he was like, oh, that's great. I really love your idea, and I'll help you out. And I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? And this guy's like, okay, so yeah, just provide me this and that and that. And it's like, okay, I will just change this. And he just finessed the application, bro. This guy just finessed the application. And I got the loan.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And he was like, yo, how much do you want? You can get anything up to 100,000. But there was one thing with that loan. It comes at the one specific condition. You have 2 years to pay it off.
And what was it? Well, yeah, and then if not, it was interest.
Say what?
And then if you didn't pay, it was interest.
Interest
or you
was
break your legs. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but no. The interest on that loan was 1.5%.
What?
That's
My
pretty
bro finessed the game for me, bro. Because he was, I don't know again what type of, I don't know what type of things they
Sounds
do.
sketchy, bro.
It is sketchy, but it's not, because it's done through a private bank.
Okay.
Also, it's a private loaner.
Yeah, but the way how they do it, they like take somebody's
RSP. Yeah.
So they take somebody's RSP and they give it to you, but you gotta give it back within 2 years. It's a finesse.
Yeah.
Because RSP is like, people are not gonna withdraw it until whenever.
Yeah.
So basically, bank just gives the money from somebody else to somebody else and makes money on that money.
Yeah, I know that. That's actually crazy.
You know what I mean? Look, people always make money on money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but he was like, I had to give him like, he said 1,500 for the thing. So I was like, you know what? I thought about it. I was like, yo, give me a day and I'll let you know like how much I want. So I calculated everything. And at first I was like, fuck. I'm like, I'm going to take like 30 bands or like 40 bands. Like in the beginning, I was like, I'll take 50. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, yo, I'm gonna take 50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm like, yo, I know, I'm like, if I take 50, I'll do overkill from the jump. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what is the minimum that I need to maximize what I can get? So I was like, I asked for something that is reasonable. I'm like, you know what? If I will ask for this, it makes sense to pay it off in 2 years.
Right.
So my payments are not like $5,000 or like whatever it would have been, right? So I'm like, fine. I took like 15,000,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and and I got to work. I finessed like, oh man, with my landlord, bro.
So wait, 15,000 was enough to
No, I had like money saved up.
plus money.
yeah,
saved
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Okay.
So everything.
Yeah, what did it cost?
We're gonna get to the money in like when I get to the stage 2, because that's gonna make more sense. Because there's 2 stages of the studio. So when I did everything, I still like, I think I went below the budget by like a couple of that, like $4,000 or $5,000, and I only went below the budget because I was like, you know what? Let me see how I can start with it, so I don't have to like, do it too good when I still don't know what I'm doing. So sorry. We put everything together. Bobby helped me out. We did all the renovations and stuff. And again, I used to work in the renovation. Bobby is like, he's super savvy with those things. So I asked him, I was like, you ever build thing like that? He was like, nah, I never did, but I would do it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But again, I think it was a challenge for both of us, because we like, I don't know. It's fun.
To do like the rentals?
Yeah, it is, especially when you do something for yourself, when you have a vision for it.
Yeah.
Like we had to like do a lot of like, we had to change the door frames and some drywall and stuff like that. So we did everything within, I think took us a month. So when we were doing
just this floor, right?
Yeah, when we were doing this floor, everything was cleaned up.
Yeah.
But it's like, Bobby he was working his full time as well. So many times, he would come help me. I had like other guys helping me, like doing certain things. But there was like days when I would just come here early. Like I would be here like 9, 10 a.m. And I would like, transit from Mississauga. So I'm like here at 10 a.m. and I would like work by myself the whole entire day until like 11 p.m. Like just.
And then plus your engineering work.
No, I had to stop.
So you were making no money for that whole month?
No.
Holy fuck.
Well, sure, you have to do everything by yourself.
Yeah, I'm just spending money, and everybody's messaging me and want to book sessions and this and that. So it's like, I have to tell people that I'm like, yo, I'm out of commission. So I try to like finish everything and tell people it's like, yo, it's gonna take time before I can, do it. So they were fine with it. A lot of guys that I was working with at the time, came and helped me out too. So, I always appreciate that. And the stage 1 was completed. And then within like that time, like I think it was like, it took me 4 months and I was already like booming so much. The timing was.
You feel like moving down here was what set it off?
I think honestly, like I would say like this. I mean, for me it just makes sense. It's like, I'm in Saga. And like I know nothing is really happening in Saga. Every time I try to do something, I gotta come to Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like whether it's some type of networking event or something. Like at the time when they were doing like the, was it like SoulCan like stuff and like all the events that they were having is like you're never gonna have like, oh, there's a SoulCan event in Mississauga, or something like, and even like when it comes to open mics and just like shows, events and stuff like that, it's like
it's always happening down here.
Yeah, so it's like I would always have to like come here anyway to like experience that. And like at the time I was like kind of researching what studios are in the city and like locations too and all that stuff. And let's say I knew I wanted to be downtown, and it happened to happen that this was the perfect location. It's like this place was like it was ideal for everything that I had in my head at the time. It's like I knew exactly what I was looking for. I didn't have the exact place, but once the place happened, everything was just going in the direction that I wanted it to go.
It's like you manifested the spot.
Yeah,
pretty much.
For sure. So I think it was like 4 months, and like 4 months I had like 2 rooms. It used to be a recording studio here too. So I had like, I was doing my thing there, and I had like a whole bunch of people here, and like it was always busy. And like, it's one of those things where like you open a new studio in the city and like people just gonna like talk about it.
They're just curious.
Yeah, it's like people are curious. And at the time too, it's like right now there's like studio and studio and studio and studio.
No.
There's like so many studios around, you know what I mean? Like, man, it's like there's studio here, there's a studio like across the wall, there's another studio like downstairs.
Whoa, so, wait, what do you mean
like
downstairs?
right there?
There's a next studio.
Next studio right there, like on the other side. Yeah. Then there's like
and
another
across
studio.
the street.
There's one across the street. There's another one right there too, and there's like 2 more, 3 more down the Queen Street. You
And
know,
these
what I mean?
all opened up recently, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
you didn't see this.
Yeah,
many
yeah.
studios
It was
back then.
like at the time the only studio on Queen was Orange.
Orange.
So it's you and Orange.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's
Orange,
crazy.
because Orange is like, but I'm like, I'm like small studios. I'm like, I'm just like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
Was
you
that
know?
Orange Lounge?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So they're like big studio, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just the right spot, and like a lot of things were happening. A lot of artists were like coming through. That was like the time when like Toronto was like, that was the first time when like Toronto like became hot.
Yeah.
That was that time.
What year was that?
2016.
Okay.
I opened the studio. Actually, no, 2015.
Because like what, like the music industry you're saying, like artists started emerging.
Yeah, like people were like, it was just like Toronto was just a hot city.
That's all Drake's doing. I think.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
that was the time. So it's like, I think it's like, I just feel the demand of what the city needed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just added the studio, but because it was new and like, I guess the philosophy behind the studio was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
It just made people like gravitate towards it more.
No, again, even I always tell them is like you, it's crazy because you allow your clients just to even come here and chill.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
So like, to me, like that's crazy. I never heard that from a studio. There, every studio I've been to is like you go, you pay, you leave. Here, it's like more like, it's more of a community type shit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I think when it comes to I think community is very important. And I remember I was watching like a documentary. There was some restaurant in Vancouver, and the owners would hire homeless people to like help them out. So they were like hire people from the community and stuff. And I was like, that's a pretty crazy idea, You have like owner running a restaurant and then he's like helping, and he was like, yeah, like the cook would say, oh yeah, like he helped me out. Like I used to sleep on the street, and right now it's like I have like apartment down the street, and like I'm helping out the thing,
Yeah.
So and the owner said like how he puts the community ahead of money, basically.
Yeah.
It was like, the community is more important than like the money. So I was like, that's an interesting business model, because in every single business is the money that is the number one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, it kind of stuck with me, you know what I mean? So I was like, how to make something that is sustainable by itself, but it's like it gives something to the community as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people connected here. I think that's like one of those things untold, is just that there was just a lot of connections that got established in this place.
No, of course. And I see them, and like even just to touch on that is like artists that started here that now have emerged. Like, what's that feeling like? And can you tell some stories about those specific artists like that emerged from here? They're doing big things now, and like, how's that feeling? And what's the story? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Hello, can you say the question
So
again?
like the artists that emerged from 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Okay. That you've helped, because this is like a more of a community. What's the feeling of being a part of the a process that started at the bottom, and then now it's where it is now?
I mean, it's cool. I think it's just, part of the game. For me, it's like I like to be involved in like early development stage, not necessarily early, like, for me it's more like I'm looking for something that is interesting, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like you might listen to somebody's demo and you like, is something there? Yes. Do I want to work with this person? Maybe. You know what I mean? It's like,
do you decline? Like if you're not
like, you know what? I do. Sometimes people send me demos and I just listen to it and I just don't even reply. I don't want to be rude or anything, but like I also don't want to be like the person that's like, your music sucks. Like you shouldn't be doing it.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, I got my personal preference, like, and taste. Like, I know what I like musically. And again, it's like there's things that people love musically that like I can't listen to it, and like there's stuff that I would listen to, and people are like, "What the hell are you listening to?" You know what I mean? So it's a personal preference at the end of the day. But I think for me, it's like if I get the demo and it sounds interesting, I'm willing to give it a try.
Okay.
Sometimes sometimes you hit something, sometimes you miss, but sometimes it's good.
It's got to spark your creativity in a sense.
Yeah.
Because like
for sure.
Yeah.
So I think at the time I was a little bit more into that too. But again, it's like I open the studio. I'm like I need to pay the bills and everything and this and that and that. So it's like, it's definitely I don't know. As I'm saying, being a part of the creative process and just working on the music is always a blessing. Like it's something that I love doing, and there are songs that like became big songs that I was like, there were songs that I was like, oh, this is a fire song, and it didn't go anywhere, and there were songs that I was like, oh yeah, I'm not sure about where it's going, and then there's like 30 million streams all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Wow.
It's like one of those things where it's like, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but like the taste at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well,
At least you're staying true to what you believe, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are afraid to say no, right? But at the end of the day, like if my creativity can't spark, then how am I supposed to give the client the best product? You get what I'm saying?
Sure, 100%.
So
yeah, I know it's iffy even for me. Like I feel weird saying no because like again, it's a blessing doing this, So I don't know. Like I just feel like I don't want it to be. I don't want to sound ungrateful if I decline. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, for sure. Honestly, it's just one of those things, man. Even when it comes to just like how people are, like there's a certain type of people that I can't work with.
Yeah,
and it's like it's nothing personal. It's just like I know what type of people I cannot stand.
Yeah,
and if you have those traits of like person that is like it's nothing personal, but it's just like there's things that cheese me.
Yeah.
Like when people do certain things certain ways, like if I don't do that, it's like I can't.
Yeah.
Simple, you know what I mean?
fuck, at least you're honest, bro.
I mean, shit, man. I'm just saying, and like,
Yeah.
it's the thing is like, it's not personal, bro.
Yeah.
No, again, you gotta do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
for sure. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
you're already getting 3 hours of sleep, bro. You can't stress yourself.
yeah. It's like I'm not gonna be stressing myself over this, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, look, I get that some people get like super, serious. It's like it's almost like, bro, you're pressing about the wrong things, bro.
Yeah.
Like like if your music is not booming and you pressing about the wrong things, is like what are we talking about, bro? You know what I mean? Like, like I'm not gonna be sitting out here doing this and that just for this and this and this. Like, man, I got other shit that I gotta do. You know,
No,
what I
you're
mean?
just
Straight
in.
up though.
So what inspires you? Like, what's your number one inspiration? Because I did hear a story that when you mix, you tend to take a listen in your headphones when you're running. Like, do you listen to your?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, inspiration for what though? What?
like, okay, so for example, you receive a track, a demo, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Or do you record? Like, do you do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you finish something, you're ready to mix it, master it.
Yeah.
What's your first approach? How do you get into a mix?
Well, number one thing is like depends on how moody I am. I'm a very moody person, but I just don't show it because I'm always just like this.
Yeah.
But I would say depends on my mood. I'll get the track, I'll organize everything, put the stems together, label everything, color it, just like get ready for the mixing process. I usually don't like. Sometimes I would listen to the demo right away. Sometimes I just like go to the stems and kind of do my balancing and just find what I'm looking for, and then I listen to the demo after.
Right.
But like the inspiration, I think is like if this, I always number one thing that I look for in the song when I'm working on it is what is the main thing I like about it.
Okay. Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I really like about the song, that's what I'm focusing on.
Right.
So if it's a sound or if it's some type of vibe or whatever it is, I focus on that one thing. If for example, there's some really good bounce and I'm like, this is what makes the record.
Yeah.
This is the first thing that I'll be like focusing
And
on.
then you're gonna kind of build it
And
around
then
that.
I'll build
right? Okay.
build around it, yeah. And then honestly, man, mixing is such a complex.
Well, yeah, because essentially it's almost different every time, right?
Yeah, it's different
So,
every time,
yeah.
and it's just a lot of clicking and a lot of decisions that got to be made, a lot of thinking, and a lot of trying to satisfy somebody else's taste.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
we talked about this before, but like I asked you, like starting up as a newer engineer,
Yeah.
when you mess up, you feel like it's like the end of the world. Someone on your level,
Yeah.
do you still make mistakes? Just because like people that are watching this that are in the production engineering, like they want to feel me personally, we talked about this before, but you're telling me it's okay to make mistakes and you still make mistakes now,
mean,
and that's how it is. Because
yeah.
again, I always felt like, oh, if I made a mistake, this person's not making that mistake,
Look,
and you know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Number one thing, what is a mistake?
For example, you know, you're not happy, like you're not happy with the mix that you're doing. You deliver it, the client's not happy with it as well.
Yeah.
It's not a mistake, but it's just like,
But you gotta ask why he doesn't like it.
yeah.
Look, I've done mixes. Even right now, I just finished the project. I mixed the whole thing, and like the guy sends me mixes. Then he was like, his engineer was like, "Hey, look, just keep it that way." And I'm like, "So why did I spend all my time mixing this? If you guys could just send me the thing, and I can just master it and call it a day. I save money. Like you guys save money, I save time, and
Yeah.
we all happy. You know what I mean? The thing is that I know what I like. I know my preference, and again." Me, comparing me to like somebody younger, like somebody who doesn't have that skills yet, it might not be I'm speaking from my own thing, from my own perspective, but did I make a mistake? I don't think so, because I listened to the mixes that I did and I fucking still think that they sound better.
Okay, yeah, like
You know what I mean? It's like I look, all right, fine. Like this is the sound that you like. That's fine. That's perfectly fine with me. But it's like, I mean, I put it into the like I would just go back and forth and listen to it, and I'm like my mix still sounds better, bro.
that means you just truly believe in your work.
I think it's like either I don't know, maybe it's my ego.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I've been doing it for so long that I can just hear those little things that make my thing better than a reference or something.
Yeah.
But again, I don't even take it personal. I'm not like, oh, this and that and that. It might seem like I do, but I'm like, I would listen to it and I'm like, okay, I see where you're going. Like I would understand what, for example, like one of the things was that I made the mix a little bit more, like I made it smoother. I made it like just shine a little bit more. But then when I listened to the demo, it was like very gritty. Like the vocals got like no reverb at all.
Yeah.
But I'm not like here like hating and be like, oh, like it sounds like shit. I'm like, this is the sound that you're going for.
Yeah.
And again, it might work. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of songs that like I've heard or like we hear that like the mixes are not the greatest, but they work.
You mean
Yeah.
like radio mixes? Like
Yeah,
like-
even radio.
yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like there are songs. So for me, it's like I'm looking at it from a perspective like, right now we got to the point where technology allows us to do a lot of things and it forgives a lot.
Yeah.
Like, man, when I was like doing stuff like 10 years ago, or like 15 years ago, or even like before, man, it's like the plugins were shit. Like, you know what I mean? It was harder to get stuff sounding good.
Yeah, your skill set has to be a little bit more sharp, like back then.
Exactly.
Now, right? You
Exactly.
have-
Nowadays, it's like you get stuff like just right away in the box sounding so much better.
Yeah.
Like conversion nowadays and like 10, 15 years ago or like 20 years ago is like, it's insane. It's like going from like PSX into PS5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just technology just keeps going. You know what I mean? So I feel like nowadays, like sometimes people send me like mixes and I'm like, I listen to it and I'm like, okay, it already sounds pretty good. And it's like, hey, it's just raw. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh, really?
sometimes when I record and I just do like a rough track, like it already sounds good. I just put the limiter on. It's like you literally don't really have to do a lot to make stuff sound like
Because you're
right.
getting good recordings, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
exactly.
a lot of these people are now like buying microphones and stuff and recording at home
Exactly.
in rooms that are like not treated at all, right? So
Exactly.
then when you get what, why do you get that often?
I mean,
You do,
not as
right?
much, but it's a common thing.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Like he got sent something recently, and it was just like all you hear is like a radiator in the back, and like there's just
There's
mans all
always
over the
something, bro.
place.
A
Like,
chair moving
yeah,
in
you
the
know what I
back. You
mean?
know what I mean?
Like,
There's always something. But
yeah,
I feel like, you know what? The beautiful thing about music is that music is an expression, you know?
Mhm.
And it's like the way how we sitting here doing the podcast, right? It's like I think music also has to be considered a part of it. It's like you're performing, you're doing something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you hear that shit in the back, it's a part of the performance.
yeah,
You know what
I
I
hear
mean?
you.
I feel like the time of like the stereo, you know, studios with like, you know, you just come and record and this and that. There's like, you know, back in the day, there was only one way to record things because that was the only way to record things.
yeah, yeah.
If you want to record, you gotta go to the recording studio. Right now, if you want to record, I mean, go to Long
can do it
McQuay,
right
get
here.
your
Like,
stuff,
we
and
can-
record wherever you want.
Yeah.
So it's just like the way how music is being done, you know. And again, obviously, stuff from the studio might have more character, more quality, more whatever, this and that and that and that. But
It's the
the
feeling that
stuff
matters.
made in
Yeah.
the hotel has the feeling.
Yeah, yeah, believe it or not.
You know what I mean? And it's like you felt like it that way. You did it in that hotel room because that's how you felt, and like you just expressed yourself. You captured the moment. That's what it is. It's all about capturing the moments. It's about capturing the right time.
Yeah,
You know, you have that one golden performance, bro. Things crazy.
Do you feel like the technology that we have as engineers helped our industry or made it worse?
I mean, made it more competitive for sure. But hey, man,
Is that a good thing?
give
though?
me all the competition. Give me all the smoke. I want to see what we got. I want to see what we got. I think for me, it's like, look, I like competition, and competition is like, look, at the end of the day, it's like, it's not even, I would say like this. We all know we compete with each other as like, you know, everybody's like, you know, we're in the same thing. So it's like a competition between the thing. But it's like, it is a competition, but it's a silent competition because like there's no hate. It's just
No,
like,
yeah. There's
you
enough
know,
room. There's enough room for everyone.
It's like who got the most sauce, you know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
not saying I have the most sauce. I'm not trying to say that,
What
but
the fuck, bro?
but but what I'm saying is that look, there's a lot of great engineers, and for me, it's more like for me is more of a what I can do to make shit different.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was just gonna say that though. Like we're all different, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like everyone does things differently. Like you said, my ear might hear something.
Exactly.
Yours might hear, right? So
Exactly.
it's not even like it's not even competition really because like everyone can kind of live in this space.
For sure,
Right?
100%.
The problem is that people come into the craft one thinking it's easy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then two they don't want to learn extensively,
sure.
right? So it's kind of like
I think you know what I think that's also a part of the thing because, well, I would say like this in the perspective of you know the competition is like because there's so many people doing it for like various prices.
okay, yeah, well,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like
Like they can kind of take your business type. Is that
yeah,
what you're
and,
saying?
yeah. Like obviously somebody's gonna take it, but again, it's
Yeah.
like I feel like the business always rotates at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I
Sure
mean?
it does,
but,
yeah.
but what I'm trying to say is that, you know, I was like sometimes I check like I'm like, yo, how much people are charging this and that and like how much are big studios charging and all that stuff, right? So I'll look at the things and I'm like, people would charge like, let's say $60 an hour, right?
To record.
Yeah.
Like, to record or whatever, right? But it's like they charge $60 an hour and they have, let's say they got like 2 years of experience. They're like, you know, oh yeah, or I have a, you know, TLM and something and like, you know, you know, I'm recording it. So it's for whatever price it is. So, you know, again, it's like I'm looking at it like, oh shit, this guy's getting this, and I'm like, I want to charge this, but then it's like if I want to charge this, like I gotta check like what big studios are charging because I'm somewhere in the middle type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm talking from my own personal perspective. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, I used to do the same thing.
Right.
So it's like I don't like. There's no like why these guys are doing it. For me, it's like, hey man, go get your grind. You know what I mean? Because like we all been there.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just what it is. So it definitely affects like, you know, certain things. But I think it's also the city that we're in, is Toronto itself.
Yeah.
That is a very specific you know, market.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like, you know, things are getting better and this and that, but you know, we'll see where everything goes. But yeah, I think things are definitely moving in a good direction for everybody. It's just, bro, at the end of this, it's about grinding. You know what I mean? You got
100%.
more people looking, you know, you got more people in the pool. You just have to work harder.
I think
Yeah.
that's the best thing. Like even me and Havana, you know, coming up, like just as writers and just artists as
Yeah.
well, like we pushed each other to kind of like we want to beat each other. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I felt like that helped us progress, and I feel like like the more it's not the way I'm very competitive. Like it's not no. I don't have no malice towards anyone, but like I want to be the best. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think that's when
Dots in his mind, like, who the fuck
who
does
the-
this guy think he
Yo,
is?
this guy's done.
Nah, look.
He's like, yeah. Okay.
Nah, Johnny, look, man, you're working. I see that.
Yeah,
I see that. Look, I respect that. Look, there's no hate, bro. You know what I mean? It's like
I'm coming for you, fam.
fam, I'm giving you all the sauce, bro. I'm giving
No,
you
are. I'm not gonna
like,
lie.
look, I give you all the tools and everything. Look, I'll give you everything, but you were just never gonna be able to touch it.
I thought he was gonna say something nice. What an asshole.
You just
bad,
can't.
bro. He's
It's just
bad.
like it's not possible, bro. Look,
Yo, the confidence is crazy.
no,
I love it.
Look,
I
let
love
me
it.
tell
I
you
love
something,
it.
bro. It's like my ears are trained very well, bro. You
Right.
know what I mean? They like just my ears are like, I just hear a lot of shit. And again, the thing is that, you know what? The ears are like your own instrument too. So it's like if you push them too much and like you do certain things certain way, like even I find myself, you know what I mean, if I stress more, if I have a big volume of work or something, it's like I tend to push my mixes more. Because like I feel tense. So it's like for me, it's like to make it sound right,
Yeah.
I need to push it certain way to like get the reaction out of my body.
Right. Okay.
But then when I'm a little bit more chill, relaxed, and all that stuff, I don't push as much. So the mixes
Yeah.
are a little bit less like, you know, pressed and all that stuff. But the thing is that different song, like, you know, each song might have a little bit different feeling. You know what I mean?
Have you ever had a project that you received that you were nervous to work on, or
I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
right?
You know what I mean? And I don't think I would be nervous about working on anything because, like, I know what I'm doing. So, you know. And for me, it's like, you know what? Whether they like it or no, I still put
Still put
100%.
Yeah.
See, I think we talked about that one time, and I think that stuck with me.
Wait, I guys talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, bro, we talk all the time. He told me that as long as because you said you used to put a lot of you didn't know much back then, but you put all your passion into it, and you said that you felt good giving, like, even if the client wasn't happy, you felt good because you put it all out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that was the best way to look at it, and that even helped me because I always thought like, okay, is it good enough compared to what's going on now? And it's just like, I feel like, yeah, as long as you did your best, that it is what it is. If they don't like it, they like it. It is
Yeah,
what it
for
is. You know
sure.
what I mean?
And I think, you know, I would say like this. If you know, whatever, you make something for somebody, they don't like it. If the business is handled right and like there's no like weird thing, it's like it doesn't affect you or anything. It's like nobody knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you did a mix that somebody didn't like, and like they're not gonna be like, oh, unless the mix was like if you charge like $5,000 and the mix is like terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I mean? If the product that you're getting is like completely shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I understand. But like if you give them something that, you know, whether it's the taste or there's something that they just don't like or they can't connect with or whatever it is. You know, and again, many times people are so used to their demos that they just don't want to let go.
Yeah, they can't detach themselves.
Yeah,
from
it's
it,
like
right?
they
All the time.
We kind of deal with the same situation too, though.
yeah, so it's like you feel certain way, and I get it, I understand it, but like, see, there is a reason why like um what was I about to say? Fuck, I forgot.
This guy's so high. This guy's eyes are not even open. Okay,
Did you think about it? No. Or
Say
no?
what?
Did you think about what you were gonna say or no?
I forgot.
That shit just completely.
yo, this guy's crazy. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on a little bit. Let's move on to collaborations if you're cool to talk about that. Who are some people that you worked with? What are some people that you're proud of? That, you know, that could be just accolades, or it could also just be just work that you're proud of in general. If you can just name a couple of that.
I could honestly, man, it's like one of those things when I talk to people. It's like who I work with and all that stuff. Is like I work with this, I work with that. Like I don't know, you know. Sometimes people are like, "Yeah, man, I work with this and that and that." You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
to show, like, you don't.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
And I just for me, it's like it's not that deep. It's like, you know, I've worked with this, or like I work with this and that, and it's like, you know, it's cool. And I would say like, you know, whoever I work with and stuff. But it's like, I think my main thing when I work with people is like I kind of want to put everybody on the same
Level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. So everybody's equal because apparently we going for equality nowadays.
I hear
You know,
you.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with a lot of people, and I feel like for me, it's like every year or every era that I've been working with people was like, I got every era has an artist.
Yeah. Well, now we got tons. Well, you're saying like this.
I'm talking for myself. Like
Just
as
that one?
like yeah, as my like studio studio life was going, is like every time I would work with these guys.
The artist was popping the city.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
I
it's
get what
like
you're saying. Yeah, I get
the
what you're
artists are like, you know, moving. Like, okay, this like from this time, those were like the the big guys like that I was working with. They were doing something like
Yeah.
this time I was working with another guy, and like then I was working with somebody else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I mean, bro, I'm proud of everybody, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like I'm proud of the people I've worked with, and I think, you know what? I would say like this. I would talk about Ali.
Yeah.
Because I think he was the person that had a lot of drive. I've never seen a person like, the reason why he like got to that level is because, bro, I just never seen a person with like this much drive, and it was like so focused on the thing. And at the time, I'm not gonna lie, it was like, he was doing a very specific type of music.
Yeah.
Like he's in like a very specific genre.
You know what he is.
Yeah, Ali got
Yeah. So I remember when I started working with him, it's like I've worked on like a couple of things and like projects and like the earlier stuff, and I was always like, man, there's something there, but it's like it took a lot of work.
Of course, as it always does, though.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But man, one thing, like I remember when we did Moonlight, and that was like the song. I think that was the first song that went like viral for him.
Mm-hmm.
That go on billboards as well?
Sorry?
Did that go on billboards? Or
I don't think so. It's You, I think that
You was huge.
Yeah,
like
You.
TikTok kind of took that.
Yeah. Like I did You, but the mix that they used wasn't my mix because this song was like done like a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that wasn't my version. I think the version that they did was a little bit sped up and stuff.
Okay.
It was a little bit different. But I think it's like, you know what? I would say he is like the person that I've witnessed manifest something. Well, not the only one, but like he said it like he knew it.
Okay, like you believe that you're saying like as
Yeah, like it's like there's no hesitation or doubt in what this guy is saying, but it's not cocky.
no, it's confidence.
Yeah, it's confidence, but it's like so calm confidence.
Yeah. Because I've had people that have come into sessions. Like there's just one specific guy, and he came into the session first time. I never met this guy.
Yeah.
He walks in, dabs me up. He's like, "What's good?" Puts his stuff down on the table, and then he's not even looking at me. He's like he's not even paying attention to me. But he's like, "Yo, you ever work with a big artist?" And I was like, "No, not really." He's like, "Well, you are now."
That's what he said.
That's what he said to me.
Was he big? I mean, not big enough because he didn't
He
know who
hasn't
he
recorded
was.
a song in his life. That was his first studio session.
Oh, so this guy was just like trolling.
No, he wasn't even trolling. He was dead serious though.
Oh yeah, I know, bro.
It was me and him. There was nobody else. Like, 'cause he just came by himself. So for him to do that with nobody there,
Yeah,
like,
like,
not
it's
even
not a
friends,
joke. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You want to hear stories about some?
that's what I was gonna say.
funny people?
What's your most?
Listen, fam, I used to work with this one guy back in Mississauga, back at the condo times. This guy, I called him Milli Vanilli because this guy looked like Milli Vanilli. You guys know Milli Vanilli?
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot how he looks like, but yeah.
It's like a group of like you just type it, Google it. Like this guy had like dreads and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
And this guy thought that he's like the biggest shit. This guy was like, this and that and that. Like, bro, this guy has so much confidence and like talking about like, oh, I'm a singer, this and that and that. So I'm like, and at the time, I'm like, I'm just trying to work with people. I'm just trying to make some money, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I ran a couple of sessions with this guy and like, bro, this guy started feeling a little bit too fucking comfortable quick. You know what I mean? Yo, this guy, bro, listen. So, I would be like, come record a song and like, we can talk like 5-10 minutes and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to like.
Oh, like he was like, you're saying he was like taking his time.
Yeah, this guy was like slowly getting a little bit too comfortable, And I'll tell you a couple of things that this guy did. So one thing that I was like, yo, what is wrong with this guy? So I ran a session with him and like I think either my brother or my girlfriend at the time was making the food or something. Yo, this guy comes out of the room and this man is like, "Can I have some?"
No.
Yeah, bro.